Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we doing today? I'm trying to pull something up and then we will be ready to roll. I know everybody's coming in slowly but surely. And I apologize for being late, guys. How we doing, Wings? How we doing, Okie? Looks like we have Mandy, King Me, Mom G2, Ariel Mel. I'm just waiting for Mr. Jason to show up. Tennessee, welcome. So, yeah. How's everybody doing today? How we doing, North Carolina? Yeah, I know people are probably wondering why in the world is Shane so late? Well, I got a service call and then I ended up getting here about 4 minutes till and applied for the job trafficking in Oklahoma. My weekend was actually pretty good. So we had a few things that were going on, but I mean, so far so good. So, oh, I don't think Jason's hiding from you. I think he's hiding from me. So I apologize. So how did people like the Saturday show? I know I've probably asked people a few times, but I know it felt good for me. So, but yeah, we're just waiting to see when people come in. And it seems like that's been the reaction that I've gotten. We've posted. I'm in the process. I'm editing it down, and then I'm going to post it out to all the different social media, whether it's on Parlor or otherwise. Missed it. Too busy riding buggy. Well, riding buggies are is not too shabby. How we doing, Mickey? How we doing, Jason? You look like you don't want to be here.
No, I had a kid in here driving me nuts.
Isn't that about normal?
Mm. Yeah. I love them.
Yeah, Winks was saying you were probably trying to avoid her.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
I will post links to all of our social media pages once the website gets going a little bit better. So just bear with me for a few more days and we will have that working great. So yeah, we have quite a few people here. I know you probably wanted to cover some stuff.
Moi?
So
Do I
I'll let
want
you.
to cover? Do I want to cover anything? So let's see. Do we want to go into what is all included for taxes for those who haven't filed yet in the new bill? Do we want to go into some of the plain action for today? we want to go into some of the ridiculous questions that everybody has that nobody can seem to find answers for?
Let's start there.
Okay.
So I know the number one thing that I find interesting is when a president boards Marine One or Air Force One, or anytime you see the military and the president around, they do one thing, and it's salute the commander in chief, because they are the commander in chief. They are the top dog in regards to the military.
Yep.
I kind of find it odd, and maybe this is just me, but I find it odd that there's no salute.
There hasn't been a salute,
and it's been that way.
No one.
You look at the inauguration. You look at the every time he boards Air Force One, which is basically guys, any aircraft that the president sets foot on, they technically are supposed to call it Air Force One. But if you look, even
not technically, they are. It is in a written rule that any plane that that the president steps on is Air Force One immediately.
Yeah, but when it comes to command and control and stuff like that, like the arsenal and the military and all that stuff, you don't see that with Joe Biden.
Right.
You don't see that on the 37. You would see that on the 47s, but not the 37s. So,
wait, say that again.
You wouldn't see it on the 37s, the 737s.
What wouldn't you see?
The command and controls.
Oh! You're talking about the command center on the plane.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You don't have that with the 37. You do with the 47s.
I got you now. I'm sorry.
So,
I wasn't following.
Yeah, well, I figured as much.
No, these, the whole thing with the kids and.
I mean, one thing you notice though about him being in the White House, there's not a whole lot of kids that he's sniffing.
Boy, you smell pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with you. There's not been a single salute yet to him. You look at whenever he visited the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, no one had rank on. You look at the 21, or what was supposed to be 21 round salute, and it ended up being, I think it was 11 rounds, which is for a dignitary of another country.
Yeah, and if you look at the actual protocol, they always have 4 guns there, but they only fire 3. They only fired 2 this time.
Right.
And how they tried to explain that away is both the other guns were faulty. It doesn't work that way.
No.
They're always tested before they're brought.
Correct.
So, I mean that was something, and you like how he tried to. Most presidents will actually put the wreath on the whatever they call that stand for the
stand.
wreath.
Yeah, and he wasn't allowed to touch it.
Yeah. So I mean, and then you look at the Blair House, which is where Kamala Harris is supposed to be supposedly living, but everything that I'm hearing, all the sources that I'm talking to say that the Blair House is empty. Which is weird.
The VP house that is
Under construction
at the Davis Observatory is empty.
Yeah, and there is an open contract, and I did actually pull it up on the SAMS system today. There is an open contract for it, but they can't find a contractor willing to do the work, which is unusual for.
Usually, government pays.
I mean, the government
half again as much.
if I did a job for the government, well, I actually did a job for like game fishing parks not too long ago, but I was doing a job for them, and I told them, well, my commercial rate is 175 an hour. Well, it's kind of funny because they're like, no, your bid's too low. It needs to go up. I'm like, what do you mean? They said you're way too low.
Right.
You have to increase it by about $10,000. So I just doubled everything. So
Yeah, there is even in state. Well, I don't know about anybody else's state. I can tell you here, if you bid a job here in Illinois, they have a minimum amount that you have to exceed and a maximum amount that you cannot exceed in order to be considered for the bidding.
yeah, and it's absolutely insane. But I asked the guy and I said, what's a major proponent that you guys look for? He said a company has to make at least 36% profit. I'm like, well, even at the rate I was at, I was doing 100. I was almost 100% profit. So I didn't understand why would they. But again, it goes back to government taxpayer money. They're
Right.
spending it carelessly without in regards to how they're handling it.
I
But
was watching a video today, speaking of which, that they were talking about how much it costs to fly and the government spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for these private jets to go all over the place.
yeah,
Not thousands, not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands.
okay, Gal, you are absolutely 100% correct. It's not their money. That's kind of why I'm one of the biggest proponents of saying, you know what? Let's abolish the IRS, go to a 15% tax, flat tax across the board, and just leave it there.
Right.
Because then they're not. It can't be increased. They turn around and they have a finite amount of money. Boom, and that's it.
Yep.
If you guys can find me those videos,
I would
if
love
you
to
can
be
find
proven
that
wrong
video,
on that.
what's that?
I would love to be proven wrong on that because I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, and neither have I. So if you guys can find them, send them over. But another thing, why is Joe Biden's plane considered a special air mission, a SAM flight?
Not all of them.
Well, has it ever had the designation Air Force One?
No. No. So his plane has also had the call sign underscore 8000, which is the tail number for it, I think. And it's just plain. It's a plain Jane deal. There's never been AF1 on it at all.
Somebody. Okay, I'm just looking to see. Did someone did okay. No, I'm still in the dark about that. Unless Jason knows something about it.
I know nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Did we find out what was going on Saturday? Is that what you're talking about, Winks?
I haven't heard anything about it, to be honest with you.
No. But yeah, King Me, he was not saluted.
No, what happened was as he walked down that aisle or that hallway, two Marines, get my hands so you guys don't see me just doing this over here like this. Two Marines came around the corner, faced him, arms to the sides. He came wrapping around the corner. The Marines came wrapping around their corners, and then that was it.
No, we Winks, we still have yet to figure that out. And no, they did not salute. And that is a staple. That is something that is drilled in every soldier's head. When your commander in chief even so much as approaches, you stop what you're doing, you snap to attention, and you go to.
You can be court-martialed for it.
Yeah. So,
King Me, has Biden been on any of the actual AF-1 planes?
No.
They've only been the
It's
Air
only
Force
been on
Two
37s.
planes, which is the 47s, the 747s.
Say that again.
He's only ever been on the 747s.
37.
Not.
The 747 is the one with the command and control.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's.
Kimmy, no matter what happens on their personal thoughts, like I said, if they do not salute the president or a commander of another branch or the branch that those people are in, it's immediate court martial.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with whether or not it's respect.
And I mean, there were people that, quite honestly, didn't respect me, but guess what? They saluted me. So,
Sam, I don't necessarily know that answer. So Sam the Barber asked, so is it considered a foreign dignitary, the foreign country being Washington, D.C.?
there's a yes and no answer to that.
So the short version is I don't know. But the long version is if you look at what has happened and what's gone on and where the military sits with this, where the flights are with that, don't do that ever again, Shane.
Do what?
Yawn. I had to swallow mine. If you look at everything that's gone on, it hasn't shown that he is in control of anything whatsoever, and his status as far as the military is concerned is basically that of a dignitary of another country.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the actual, because I still have my old handbook, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to digitize it if I'm allowed to. I have to find out if I can. But yeah, I have there's a 497 page manual that you have to memorize as an officer on the protocols and proper what the dignitaries and all that, who the dignitaries are, how to recognize them, all that stuff. And I know it's confusing, and it's been years since I've even looked at it. So.
Yeah, we're all suffering from daylight savings right now. Wings, you never have to ask to ask. Proud, Trump's 90, so it's actually 60. And you're correct, but I still don't think that even if nothing changed, if nothing changes, that Biden will be saluted. That Biden will be respected from the military. Saying the Barbie, you're 100% correct. He's getting the gun salute of a foreign dignitary. Absolutely agree. Why is Harris always with him? I thought they were supposed to be separate in case something happened. He mentioned they were all traveling together. No, Harris isn't always with him. Harris is in Vegas right now, I think, doing speeches for the American revival thing.
You know, it's kind of funny that she's doing speeches for the American revival when they're bringing about America's destruction.
Right.
I mean, yeah, color me curious and paint me purple, but seriously, that is the biggest oxymoron that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Proud Patriot, she absolutely earned her way to her position. And I will leave
one
it
at a time. One at a time.
She worked her way
to the top.
Yes. From behind.
You know, guys, I would never insinuate that a public official to their way to the top. Never.
What
anybody that doesn't get the hint, I am being very facetious right now.
Yeah. We do like to talk in code, but that's why I like to type a little bit more, because I'm a little bit more free to express things.
Oh, come on. Ask Willie Brown. Well, he was the first of many.
Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely sure that people have worked their way up a corporate ladder. Yes.
Even her father was mad at her. Her father called her a disgrace.
I'm sorry, Oki. It is the American Rescue Plan. You're right. But I'm trying to, remember everything at once. So back to what we were originally discussing, Shane, the whole thing about how many strange things that have gone on. It's been admitted that, excuse me, he's not going to give a State of the Union address, even to hand it to Congress. He's not going to give one. He's
go ahead.
Sorry, somebody just pulled in my driveway. Right. Kamala's taking all the calls for foreign leaders. North Korea won't talk to him. There's just that's just a couple of things I've thought about off the top of my head.
It's there's something else that I was really. Why is it there's not a day that he's actually, there's not a weekend that he stayed in the White House?
Not a single one.
Why is it that he hasn't been on a press conference in 55 days? I mean, well, I guess we know why he's not on a press conference. The press
he mentally can't handle it.
He couldn't handle 20 minutes of it without a special injection.
Right.
Um, and we're paying for him to fly back and forth. Yeah.
Not just him, but the Secret Service also.
Yeah. Oh, if Trump was to do it, we would have been. It would have been a front page news story.
Sam, you're 100% correct. Dementia patients need familiar surroundings.
Well, yeah, and being a former medical professional, I understand that. I mean, when some people joke about it, I know as kids, when we joke about walking down the sidewalk, you never want to step on any cracks or else you break your back. Well, for a dementia patient, those cracks represent giant holes that they could fall in.
Correct.
Which is why you don't see dark carpet in nursing homes. You don't see a whole lot of that stuff in the nursing homes because guess what? It freaks them out.
So Kimi asked the question, why is Kamala taking all the calls with foreign leaders and not Biden? I can answer to you the question as to what I think the rumors or what I've been told the rumors are. If you've got another answer, by all means, go for it.
Let you speak, and I'll tell you whether I think it's right or not.
So there's actually 3 different rumors that I've heard. First and foremost, nobody wants to deal with Biden. They don't respect him as a president. They didn't respect him as a vice president. They didn't respect him as a senator, and they do not want to deal with him. That's the first one. The second one is on his schedules. You'll notice, if you ever look at his schedules, he's usually out of pocket for about 2.5 to 3 hours a day. And that's because he takes a nap in the middle of the day. There is a rumor flying around that he will actually just get up after lunch and walk to the White House and go and take a nap. Or walk to the residency portion of the White House and just go and take a nap. And then the third portion is the whole rabbit hole of Kamala working her way to take over.
Well, I think she has already done it, but they're not making it known to people.
Correct.
I think when it comes to the White House and who's really in control, Kamala has that place dialed. So, I mean, I look at it and I know there's some people that don't agree with the way I think, but I look at things a little differently than a lot of people. And I think what she is there's going to be a scandal that pops up very quickly. I think there's going to be a scandal that pops up very quickly. And you want to know what I think the scandal is going to be?
You running upstairs?
No, I think the scandal that's going to pop up is it's going to be Biden having a heart attack in the Oval Office because somebody's.
Yeah. Do they have to let us know if the Article 25 has been done? Eventually, yes. Right now, immediate, no. And what do I mean by that? So, if an Article 25 has been completed, legally, they do not have to tell us anytime soon. And the reason why is because the vice president may not be prepared. And this is a general statement. The vice president may not be prepared to handle moving to presidency. Kamala wants that power. Kamala was hand chosen for that power. So I don't think that that's necessarily the issue. What I think it is they're waiting for something like what Shane's talking about, and that is the natural selection, if you will, with Biden.
One thing that there is it has to be, Congress has to be notified within 60 days, and that's precedent. That's been pretty much set in stone. Supreme Court, there was a decision that was made in regards to secession. So Michelle Obama, no, Susan Rice. Susan Rice is the real power hungry woman behind Kamala Harris. Biden was a Trojan horse, was always a Trojan horse, yes.
He can't answer questions because he can't mentally handle them. I mean, that's about as brutal honesty as you can get right there. And even if he did get a simple question like, "Hey, did you have coffee and cream this morning, or cream in your coffee this morning?" I don't even know if he could answer that.
He could go off about his dogs, and then say something about pony soldiers.
Yeah.
I mean, and then guys, on a serious note, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and he's like, "Man, did you see that Senator Feinstein bill?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Literally 2 minutes after somebody posted about it. So I figured we might as well cover that tonight. But I do feel a rant coming on about that one. So
oh boy.
What's that?
I said, oh boy.
So we're going to cover some other topics, and then we'll circle back to that. Is his signature valid on EOs? There's yes and no answer to that. If there is deemed a health or a mental health illness, an adult signature does not matter. If you are deemed incompetent, those signatures are invalid. And with most dementia patients and people with dementia, they are considered, like their thoughts are considered in regards to care, but they do not have signatory power. And I'm sure Sam the barber can correct me if I'm wrong there, but if I remember right, that's what it is.
So guys, I did an analysis on what's on the National Registry, and even if we took the last week off and say they're far behind, the National Registry only shows 22 or 23, and I can get you the actual number here in a second. 22 or 23 EOs, and the White House shows 74 or something like that. So it just doesn't make sense.
Notice anger and aggression he displays over asking or over fairly direct questions. Yeah, and I mean, come on, man. My daughter heard it so well, or so many times during the presidential debates and stuff, and the presidential race, that she got to the point where she could actually mimic his tone, inflection, everything to the T. And I mean, it was funny. I mean, just this 3-year-old girl. Come on, man.
It's ridiculous. It really is.
Whose name will be on the stimulus check? Well, if you receive a direct deposit, there's not going to be a name that's associated. If you get a mailed check, then if I'm remembering right, Trump's signature is still on that.
Right.
It looks like we picked up another fan.
2.
Oh, boy. They're really starting to have fun with us today. Give me a second now. I will take care of them.
The funny thing is there's people who have already said that they've received physical. So this is the stories that are on mainstream. Okay. There's people who say that they've already received the physical stimulus check, which means it would have to be mailed to their house through mail, and they received it on Saturday.
Or Sunday.
No, you can't. You don't receive mail on Sunday.
I do. If there's Amazon packages coming, the mail does run.
Amazon's different. Receive actual mail. That's different.
Yeah. But did they go to timeout? No, I just got rid of them. Those kind of trolls, I don't put up with them very long. Yeah, I've never seen a check coming from the federal government that's been any on time in any way, shape, or form.
Right. And according to what I've been told, the earliest the IRS has scheduled them is the 17th.
Yep. But banks are processing them faster.
Without the money being there.
What did you miss? Well, we had jokes about Kamala Harris. We had questions about Biden being president. What else?
Frustrations.
Oh yeah,
A couple giggles.
Yeah, a couple good laughs. So,
basically, long and short of where Shane and I are going with this is he and I had 45-minute to an hour-long conversation last night, and I was trying to rationalize some of these things. I was trying to come up with any sort of rational explanation at all for any of it. And take out the conspiracy theories, take out Trump out of all this, take out the election on this, take out, everything, just taking all those circumstances out, right? And you just look at Biden and the things that have happened and try and rationalize them. And I can't do it. And that's where my problem is right now. And what brought up this whole conversation with us is not being able to legitimately rationalize any portion of this presidency. Hold on, I can't look at you, Shane.
That's why I covered up my mouth this time.
I can't explain off any portion of it. And that's where I'm having the hard time. I've had conversations with Democrats. I've had conversations with Democrats that didn't vote for him, completely did vote for him. Red weeks completely there. Sorry about that. That did vote for him. I've had conversations with Republicans, independents, Trump's supporters, and no one can explain to me any portion of just the Biden presidency. I'm telling you guys, take everything else out. Everything else that you've heard, every video that you've watched, everything out. Okay? And just look at the Biden presidency as a whole. And explain and try to rationalize with what's been done in history versus what's happening right now. You can't do it.
There's no, you can't even juxtapose any of it.
Right.
Yeah, and literally, I've talked to Democrats. I talked to a political science professor. She is very liberal, and I asked her. I was working on a water heater for her today, and I asked her. I said, "So, did you get what you wanted with Biden?" And she said, "I see where you're coming when you say you were going to vote for Trump." I said, "Well, what do you mean? He's just a sexist. He's a misogynist. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's a xenophobe. And she's like, he's human. He makes mistakes. Joe Biden can't have his hands anywhere near the nuclear button because he would forget that he needed it. If he was pushing, he would forget about doing it, and he'd deny it until he's blue in the face, and we were all dead."
So Mandy posed a question. What do you think? What do we both think are three possibilities of what's going to happen? So you have the rabbit hole of Trump coming back, right? Then you have, let's leave that one aside. Okay, let's just talk about Biden and his presidency. The whole Trump thing, we could go down that road and maybe we will, but let's just talk about Biden and his presidency. First and foremost, you have a power hungry woman as a VP. Okay. And I don't mean to say woman as aggressive towards women. I just mean she's a woman. All right. As a VP, you have a man, an elderly man. Okay. Who even at full health, did never, ever, ever sounded the way he does now. Okay. If you look at the old video, I'm getting way off here, but if you when you look at the old videos of him, all right, he never even said, "Come on, man." Okay. There's so much more to go in with that, but you got Biden that's got the problems, and then you've got right now another power hungry person in Pelosi. Okay, so you got three problems right now. All right, so let's break this down as to what might happen. All right, Biden has a heart attack. Kamala takes over. Biden truly gets problems with dementia. Kamala takes over. They pull the 25th. Kamala takes over.
No matter which way they slice and dice it, Kamala's going to take over. Here's some news that I actually, Narini, you just posted this. I think it was Narini. Somebody just posted. No, it was in the signal popped up on the screen. Somebody just posted that the Georgia Fulton County judge may unseal the ballots. And
it'd be nice
if he unseals the ballots and upholds his oath. My hat's off to him because he's taking a stance that
very few people are.
That very few people would want to.
Right.
At the time.
So, long story short, if you just look at the Biden presidency, Kamala is going to end up taking over.
Oh, Tracy was the one who sent that to me originally.
Ariel Mel sent it also.
Oh, okay.
So that's just with the Biden presidency. That's what's going to happen. My fear with that is on top of Kamala taking over, what happens if she chooses Pelosi to be her VP?
Pelosi's not up to the task.
She may not be, but what happens if she chooses her?
Then the next person in line for the speakership would be, what's his name? I'm trying to think of his name. He's not Steny Hoyer.
No. I get it. We're talking scenarios right now. Okay. Any way you slice or dice that, all right? Anyone who believes anything in Trump is screwed. All right. So let's go down the road of what ifs.
What if let's go down the road of what if that we were going down earlier today.
Right.
With that conversation that we had while I was getting plumbing materials. And we're discussing this in regards to I have a friend of mine that's a Supreme Court clerk, and they said that the Michigan lawsuit and the Arizona, because they're in discovery phase, they actually check my email. People are sending me emails now, Jason.
Nice.
Yeah.
While you're doing that.
Oh, it's Biden. Oh, I see. Let's see if I can do this right in a way that I can. I'm watching and I'm waiting for the Secret Service people to get out. Going back to that dirty SUV, that's just absolutely filthy. You remember which video I'm talking about?
Yeah, him entering the plane.
Yeah.
As soon as you said the SUV.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, let me share my screen so you can get it up and see. So I haven't seen this, and this is from March 3rd. I've never seen this released. That the state Republicans, they got this all squared away, and they actually released a statement on it. And they've updated this 3 or 4 times since. The Maricopa County is still moving forward with their election audit. 2.1 million votes that they're going to hand count. So it's crazy. You know, so you got Maricopa County doing it. Now you've got Georgia doing it. Michigan just approved theirs. So it's still not over as far as that's concerned. Shane, did you find it?
Yeah. Yeah, that video, one of the Marines salutes as Joe Biden's stumbling up the stairs.
Did they have one at each side of the stairs?
Yeah.
And only one saluted?
Yep, that's the way it looks.
Alyssa, you ready?
Or no, both of them did. They panned over and was able to catch the other one. So somebody's saying, "Show the video."
Can you do it?
Yeah. I had a
Salute the Marine. Okay. And wait for it. Wait for it. He trips. Now CNN understands why Trump always looks at the stairs when he walks up and when he walks down.
but yeah. So it was, and typically, guys, one thing I'm when you salute, you don't just look at one person and ignore the other one. If you salute, you look straight ahead. That way they can see that you're acknowledging both of them, not just turn your head and salute. You notice that?
Right. No, I agree.
Yeah, he saluted one, but he didn't even look at the other one.
So I want to go back to what we were talking about on the Trump coming back in. There's a couple scenarios there that, we've touched on before, but let's really go about this right now. So first things first, there's still the election stuff that's going on. That's still going to take a month or two, at least, to get through the courts, right? So once we get this Arizona State through, once we get now Georgia back through, once we get Michigan back through, there's probably a good chance that they will decertify the votes.
Well, they won't have any choice at that point.
Right.
Because they would have proven that there was massive fraud. And then heads will roll. Because, guys, think about this. If you get to discovery and you lay out the case and you show the facts behind it, the second it's in discovery, then the actual trial can move forward and they can actually go through. The other side
Right.
can appeal it, but they go to the next court. The next court has to consider the evidence as well. And then it gets moved to the next court. And then finally to the Supreme Court.
Correct.
If you have 2 or 3 cases that are, and this, my friend that's in the Supreme Court said, if they get discovery done and the judge rules in their favor, it will be heard in the Supreme Court. They will have to.
Right.
At that point, because there is standing.
So my personal opinion is I think this is the last round of courts that they're going to allow to go through. I think this is it. If this doesn't go through, it's either going to be military or Trump's going to run for House.
And then you'll start seeing the cleanup really start taking place, because his daughter-in-law, Laura, is running. Don Jr.'s already talking about running. He's positioning himself to run for Miami-Dade. The district running Miami-Dade. And he has a very strong chance of winning that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and then Laura's running for, I think it's one district over from Mar-a-Lago that they live, and she's running for that seat, which leaves open West Palm Beach, and Trump will run for that, because then that's 3 solid ones that they would have wrapped up. Then you have
Right.
Matt Gaetz and Rick Scott and a bunch of those guys who are in there. So, I mean, you would have a really strong chance of taking the House and flipping it and getting a supermajority. Because once you have control of the House, guys, all the Republicans need to do is retain 2 seats and flip 3, or no, retain 2 and flip 10,
Right.
and supermajority in the Senate. So it's then you guys want to see the fireworks. We've only impeached. Trump was the 4th president to be impeached, but never convicted. There's never been a convicted impeached president. No
I thought
president.
Nixon was convicted.
What's that?
I thought Nixon was convicted.
No, he stepped down before he was convicted. So they
Oh,
stopped it.
So, guys, that's basically where I think this is going to end up going. It's either going to end up being the military or the Trump family take over the House.
Yeah. And it's going to be just solid in your face. Either you're with Trump or you're against him.
Right.
They will expel members quicker than snot that are not with him.
Yep.
So, Cat 6, there's a few things that are there's actually quite a few things that are happening right now, and right now there's 17 states that have they're clamping down on the election restrictions, and they're actually taking back control to the legislature from the governors. So I know Pennsylvania's already working to pass something like that. I know Texas has already passed that. Florida, they're passing something like that. So we'll no longer be in the Secretary of State's office.
Let me interrupt you 1 second. RWN 68. The statement is, I have no confidence that the military will get involved. That is QAnon wishing. So I just want to correct you real quick. Just so you understand, right now, currently, in our current condition, Trump still has control of the military. It was a bill that was passed and signed that the outgoing president has control of the checkbook in the military for 60 days post-inauguration. That 60 days is coming up quick, I agree. But it's still there. I'm not telling you guys that this is the route that it's going to go. This is thoughts and feelings only. But, Shane, do you happen to have that up at all, or can you get to it quick?
I will pull it up on email.
But listen, this is thoughts and ideas only. You guys are asking what we think is going to happen. This is mine. Shane may have another route that he may think that this is going to go, but this is absolutely, if the military doesn't step in, not saying it's going to happen, not saying it is going to happen or isn't going to happen. The only other way to get anyone out of the presidency or the House is going to be to end up being voted into the House with Trump and the rest of them. So
Just keep going.
all right. With that said, and guys, if you have any other, seriously, if you have any other suggestions or ideas, I'm open to hear them. But that's the only ways I can see legally doing it.
I cannot find that, Jason.
Okay. So, with that said, I wish we weren't in the position that we were in, personally.
Did you
Jump on 1 foot. I don't know if my floor will handle it.
What's that?
Proud Patriot. Jump on 1 foot, Jason. My suggestion.
I don't know that your ankle would be able to handle it.
And well, that too. Norini, we were talking about presidents that have been impeached and actually convicted. And I thought Nixon was the only president actually be convicted. And I was corrected because he stepped down. That's what we were discussing.
I have to show you guys this because I think this is kind of funny. Joe Biden called a lid at 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Hasn't done anything since.
No. Oh wow, that was a pretty long speech.
Sam, no, Clinton was not impeached.
He was impeached. He was not convicted.
Correct.
And removed.
So I don't know. I wish I had another.
Somebody said, wish our country would just hold another election. I believe it will. If things continue down the path that they're going, I believe they will.
Correct. So, why did Trump say he lost the White House? Because of the election feelings that Trump has. Does that make sense? I could type it out if it would help.
Yeah. You have to show your vaccine card, but no voter ID. Yeah, I agree. You know what I'd tell Democrats. This is a proposal that I will actually get behind. And here's kind of what my thought process is. Instead of we won't restrict anybody who is here legally. We will not restrict them from getting an ID card. And on it, it will say whether they're valid to vote or not. And we will give it to them for free. You might run a cost of about $10 billion total for the whole program. But guess what? Nobody would have any excuse for not being able to get a voter ID card. They'd have their driver's license. They'd have their picture ID.
Yeah. The whole problem with doing a re-election is going to be coming up with an honest, fair way of doing it without allowing cheating in.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a hard thing to do because they're going to want to use existing technologies that they already have.
So you know what you do? Oh, you have 100 million people vaccinated. You guys are just fine to show up in person on voting day. We'll see you there.
Winks, pencil and paper. Pencils can be erased, paper can be changed.
That's why you use a black ink pen, and not
Even then, it can be swapped.
yeah.
The whole problem right now is using paper. There's proven ways to cheat. Okay. Mail-in voting won't work. Okay. I don't care. Listen, I understand there's our military guys serving overseas and they deserve the right to vote. Then we need to figure out a way to allow them to vote without mailing it in.
Wait a second. We already have a way. If astronauts can vote from space, how the heck why wouldn't our veterans be able to vote? Or those serving overseas? If they can do it from outer space?
True. Yeah, but you don't know how they're getting that vote down.
Oh, they already talked about it. They've already said how it's done. It's all blockchain technology.
Right. Well, that's where I was trying to go with it.
Anything going on with the airplanes that we need to know about right now?
A bunch of helicopters up in Seattle, Washington area, but I have a feeling that's for Antifa.
Yep.
Stand by. Couple helicopters up over Washington. Not a major surprise at this point. Let me go across the pond. We have a C-17 taking off by Kuwait and a K-5R that's been up for a while in that general vicinity. And that's about it. It's a pretty quiet night overall.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Generalities go. Is there any reliable electronic voting machines out there?
No.
I don't believe so. You know what? If somebody can develop one, you'd be a flippin' millionaire.
Yeah.
Let's see. EO September 16th. Yeah, I know about that one. Dicey, I'm not sure what is because of that, but there is a lot of activity. You are correct with that. King Me, there's still back end stuff. That's the whole problem. So King Me made the statement, the military needs to be in control of all the voting in the U.S. I would agree with you, except for there's a lot of back end stuff that can be done. Whether you're doing it for a Republican or for a Democrat, it doesn't matter. As soon as it hits the internet, unless you want to go closed circuit two-way communication, like using military communications, that may be a possibility.
Thank you. This is that executive order that she's talking about. But no, there was an actual bill that was signed that passed the House and the Senate.
Yeah. Yeah, there was thanks, Mom. So there was we could brainstorming here, guys. Brainstorming out loud. We could use military communications, which are non-tappable, at least as of right now.
They're tappable.
The data transfer. Okay, well, throw that one out the window.
You have to have the right algorithm, but yeah, it is tappable. That's how we keep track of assets in the field. So sorry to burst your bubble.
Well, you're a real party pooper tonight. Mickey, I'm looking right now, and I see one person in front of the White House. Enlarge it. And there's a second person. Could be change of guard. I only see two people there. So, past Biden bedtime. 9:30. Yeah, you're probably right. Actually.
So what do you think about floppy fish Fauci?
If they're, I almost just opened my mouth. I almost got you in trouble just now. If there was one person who I could see fall off the face of the earth, that's one man right there I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So guys, it's kind of funny because I know a lot of people do like opening monologues and opening things. I'm not one for doing that. I am getting good at doing these closing monologues. Give people something to think about. As we are closing out our day. So, guys, Dr. Anthony Fauci has had a long and notorious career in public service. He's been very effectual at making things happen where no one else could. But he's also one of the highest paid government employees and the federal government, even better paid than the U.S. president. Did you know that, Jason?
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of my way of thinking. And some people are going to agree with me. Some people are going to cuss me out. And of course, YouTube's probably going to ban me. But here goes nothing. Anthony Fauci, if you want Americans to believe what you have to say, you must first sit down and figure out what your storyline is. Because right now, you look like a floppy fish. You flip-flop faster than Joe Biden does. And you blow smoke up people's skirts faster than Kamala does. And you're making the Health and Human Services Director look more female than male. sometimes you just have to. Once your time has came to an end, you have to just give up and just shut up. And at first you talk about being, oh, the mask is going to help you, which we agree with. In that instance, I agreed with him. Masks protect down to micrometers, not nanometers. And then, oh yeah, 100 days of wearing a mask, that'll be fine. 100 days comes here and gone. Then, oh, it's not just one mask. You need to have 2 or 3 masks. Really? So since the first one worked so well, now you have to do 2 or 3. So make up your mind, sir. Are we ever going to take off the mask? Are you in too much power hungry dingbat mode to see beyond your own stupidity? You authored back in 2005. You authored a 15-year study on the effectiveness of face masks, and in that study, you took N95, you took your regular surgical mask, which works awesome against protecting against bloodborne pathogens, and you know that, sir. But you authored that 15-year study in which you said that nobody should be wearing a mask to keep people from getting sick from a virus. Why would I believe that after only 9 months, you guys authored a brand new study that's not even 2 pages long? And in that study, you said that you guys had monitored the effectiveness and it works great. Here's your moment. Do the right thing. Tell people the truth. If you can't tell people the truth, go home and retire. Because sometimes people just need to take their head out of the cabooses and get out of the spotlight. Your time is come and gone, old man. Move on. Jason is not paying attention. I will get that.
I absolutely am, and I couldn't come off of mute fast enough because my daughter was trying to call me to get money. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. And that's what daughters are really good for. Hey, Daddy, can I get some money? What are you going to do with it? I'm going to take my boyfriend out to dinner.
Oh, no. No.
Cat 6, I will get that study. I will post that on the website because yeah. King Me, yes, I did see that. But there's one other topic that I wanted to cover tonight, and I think you might actually get a little heated up about that one too. Sam, hey Jason, look at what Sam's putting in. Please, Daddy.
No, it's her money.
Can you tell that we're parents?
No, I put a lock on her with her money.
But why? So yeah, they're getting sick and tired of crap down at the border.
No, I agree.
But the one thing I did find pretty interesting is Dianne Feinstein. Of every person who claims that she supports the military, who claims that she supports the Second Amendment, as a leftist, yeah, I know we don't believe a single word that they say. But come on.
Come on, man.
I mean, here's an AR-15. You know what? That batty old woman, and no offense to all you ladies on here that are getting older and that are going to watch later, but I don't want to offend you, but she is bat crap crazy. Her and Nancy Pelosi are like twin sisters.
Mm.
They've both been in politics longer than I've been alive. And that's saying a lot. So, guys, it's very interesting because, of course, what does the left want to say? AR-15 stands for assault rifle 15th model. Well, they're and the worst 1970s game show host, and you are wrong. But guys, let's have a candid conversation. How many people actually believe that they're going to change the Second Amendment? How many believe that they could get enough rhinos to go along with 3/4 of Congress actually making that change to the Second Amendment?
I think they're gonna try their damnedest.
I think they can do it. And here's why. So John Thune issued a statement today. John Thune's a Republican from South Dakota. And it is one of the only guys that I swear I will find somebody to primary him and he will be out of office. And his next election cycle is coming up. But issued a statement today saying that we need to have common sense gun reform. Well, I mean, okay, how many people? I don't want to know. I am not going to put this up there, but I know there's a lot of people that were born in the 70s and 80s that watch this. How many of you guys went to high school, went to college, had guns in your vehicles, and never had a problem?
Here's my problem. Here's my whole problem. They make these statements about how they need better gun whatever. Okay? But yet they don't define it in a bill as to what they want. Because what they're going to do is they're going to go like this. We want here. Well, yeah, we want here now. And then we want here now. And then we want here and here and here and here and here. And then we don't want you to have guns at all.
Well, they're talking about Dianne Feinstein is talking about banning AR-15s. And yes, I did see your comment up here. Careful, Shane. Yeah, that, like I said, I don't want people to get offended by that, but it's time to talk straight. People that went to school in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, 9 times out of 10, especially if you lived in the Midwest, there was gun racks in the back with guns that were loaded in them. Changed about 2000. I know because when I was just entering the middle school, and yes, I know I'm very young. When I was entering middle school, they put out a district wide bulletin that the if anybody had a gun in their gun rack, that it'd be confiscated. So it was all the way up until I was out here in South Dakota, anyways. So
Not here.
yeah, but I mean, it's to sit there, and I don't remember the full words, and I'm sure I'll get a phone call after the fact. Somebody's going to say, "Well, you butchered this," but there is a creed that is said by the United States Marine Corps in boot camp. This is my rifle. It is an extension of me. And it goes on from there. I am not even going to try to recite the whole thing. But the reason we have the Second Amendment, and this is for you, Miss Feinstein. The reason we have the Second Amendment, and it says the right to keep and bear arms, or I'll actually I'll do one better. We are actually going to pull up the Constitution, and we are going to read it verbatim. So, and I know everybody probably knows this, so but yeah. What are our pronouns? Yeah. Java plums, probably not her or Mrs. Okay. Just so you know. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to share this real quick. And hold on a second, Jason. I will be right back. My wife is blowing my phone up.
So he was talking about Rifleman's Creed. Have you guys seen or heard it before? I know those who are in the military or come from a military family will. I pulled it up. He, she, we, you, they, and if I remember correctly, and I, if I remember correctly. Yeah. All right. No, the Rifleman's Creed is about your rifle. It is a rifle that's given to you whenever you enter the military. And it goes like this. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I master my life. My rifle without me is useless. Without my rifle, I am useless. I must fire my rifle true. I must shoot straighter than my enemy who is trying to kill me. I must shoot him before he shoots me. I will. My rifle and I know what my rifle and I know that what counts in this war is not the rounds that we fire, the noise or our burst, nor the smoke we make. We know that it is the hits that count. We will hit. My rifle is human, even as I, because it is my life. Thus, I will learn it as a brother. I will learn its weaknesses, its strength, its parts, its accessories, its sights, and its barrel. I will keep my rifle clean and ready, even as I am clean and ready. We will become part of each other. We will. Before God, I swear this creed. My rifle and I are defenders of my country. We are the masters of our enemy. We are the saviors of my life. So it be until victory is America's and there is no enemy but peace. Yes, Full Metal Jacket. And it was repeated over and over and over again. And it has a very, very strong meaning. So, no, definitely not Private Ryan. It was Full Metal Jacket.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I just read him the Rifleman's Creed.
Oh, so we have somebody. So we have somebody that's trying to see what our genders are, and whether we're non-binary or something.
This thing is non-binary for human beings.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there there is a non-binary for a liberal. That they either have a brain or they don't, depending on which one they identify as. So,
I am a patriot. That's what matters.
yeah, no, guys, people like this, I like to have a little bit of fun, and I leave them in there just to kind of give a target of some aggression. But Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Guess what? If they decide that they are going to infringe on my rights, there's only one thing that I have to say to them. Mulan Lobby, come and get it. Because it ain't these colors don't run.
Yeah.
And trust me, there's a lot of people around me that are the exact same way. So, but yeah, I wanted to make sure that's worded right, just so if this clip ever shows up in front of Senator Dianne Feinstein, I can honestly say that you old lady, young lady, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you identify as, I mean, cranial. You know what? She can identify as cranial or non-existent. Like she don't have a cranial. She's missing the cranial space. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, so I love the interaction that people like to throw our way. I know there's people that they're just like, why do we even tolerate trolls? Well, some of them provide good fodder.
You know what? It's sometimes good for enjoyment purposes. Speaking of which, I have somebody I need to get a hold of tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't.
I may have a phone call coming up with you later for something.
Yeah. Well.
And it'll be nice for you guys to get a nice little break, comedy break.
Yeah. Give me one more second, and I will be right back.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls.
Just answer a couple questions.
I don't know why Twitch is acting up. Okay, who have I not gotten questions from? Does anybody have any questions or concerns right now? It's pretty quiet, my friend. We must have done a really good job.
Either we did a really good job or people are just sick and tired of seeing our faces.
Yeah, that too.
I don't know. Our numbers keep dropping.
Well, that's could be because I'm on and and I'm
But
blocking.
I've already went through 2 cameras. This ugly mug isn't doing the job. They must be coming for you.
Could be, but I doubt it. So, what do I think about the border issue and the new detention center in Midland? Okay. Simply put, 720% overfilled is excessive. The fact that we have such a small amount of the border closed, legit closed, and not done yet is absolutely astounding to me why we would close it off. The fact that there are 400 to 500 people crossing the river every single night and we can't send them back is beyond me.
Oh, but we don't want to hurt these poor children. So let's just stack them like crazy in these cages that were so racist under Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's worse now.
Yeah, by almost 17 times worse.
GUYM. I am Navy.
We both are.
Huh?
We both are.
So there you go. Did you hear about the compound Trump bought off the coast of Venezuela? I did. I haven't figured out where it is or what it is yet. I literally saw it about 45 minutes before we went live, so I didn't get a chance to get details on it yet.
And I would like to see the purchase records. Something like that would be a purchase. There would be a paper trail.
If it's there.
Yeah.
If it's there yet. So, let's say the purchase happened yesterday. It's not going to be there yet.
Yeah, but it would show up very quickly.
Correct.
Something like that, 30 days usually.
Yeah, but it is offshore, so I don't know. That's a little bit different of a ball game.
Oh, did you see the weekend? Somebody actually sent me the clip, but one of the weekend hosts of MSNBC actually kind of blew me away. She was questioning Kamala Harris, and she's like, the CDC has recommended or said that teachers can go back to school full time without being vaccinated. And Kamala, she's like, so when can we expect to see, or what are you going to tell all the teachers watching this morning? What are you going to tell them about going back to work and whether or not it's safe? And Joe Biden and I believe that they are the top priority for this vaccine. We believe they are 100%. And the lady, she's just like, so it was just one of those things that I was kind of surprised when she followed up and she said, I don't care. We understand that's your priority. What are you going to tell them about going back to school, and when are they going to be able to teach in the classrooms again? And our teachers are our priority. But I'm just like, okay, we understand there's a virus. We understand that people are dying. But when the response is or when you go and have a left-wing activist, journalist, or reporter literally get in your face and say, you guys have had 30 days and you still haven't came up with a concrete plan. It was just like the robot and Kamala just started melting down.
Yeah. So I am not very happy over the things at the border right now, to say the least. And I could probably go on, but you guys, we only got so much time. What are our thoughts on the
And Winks, I do not take any death for granted, because quite honestly, it's horrifying the amount of deaths that are attributed to it. So don't ever, if I say something out of turn, you feel free and reach out and slap me around. Okay. I'll apologize now, but I'm not gonna. I don't want people to think that I'm just making fun of people, because I'm not. I'm making fun of politicians who just don't know what the heck they're doing.
I'm going to let you answer the questions about the needle in a haystack, if you will, because I don't want to get you in trouble, and I might go down a road that might.
Which needle in a haystack? About Karl Marx?
No. The one right below that. There's been a couple of questions regarding that same issue, and I don't want to get you in trouble.
How are the teachers going to indoctrinate the children? That's, if you want to go for it, go for it. Seriously.
You sure?
We're small enough right now. I think we can get away with it.
So the Winks, I'm sorry for your loss. I want to make sure I put that out there as a preference to what I'm about to say. I do feel for you and your family, and sorry to hear this. Do I think that the numbers are anywhere near what they advertise that they are? Absolutely hell no. Do I think that the liquid that goes inside and I'm still trying to be very cautious here, inside of your arm is stable? Absolutely not. Do I recommend anyone taking? I'm not going to go down that road, but I will tell you, I won't let my family do it. Do I think that any of this is real? I believe that there is a real virus. I believe that there is a virus that is in comparison to a flu. Do I believe that the side effects become more serious with age? Absolutely. But how anybody can put any of this in the open, the way that this government has, in the way that the world has, is absolutely disgusting and sickening to me. I don't ever like to go off like this, and I'm trying to watch every word that I say and stop and think about it before I say it. But what has gone on with this disease and this quote unquote that fluid that gets put into your body is horrible. It is. I don't care how many scientists you have. There's no way in hell. No way in hell anybody can develop anything that's going to be worth a damn in 9 months. No way you can test it. No way you can develop it. No way any of that's going to happen. There's countries that are now shutting down. 11 countries have shut down the use of one of them.
AstraZeneca.
Thank you.
And there's 9 that have shut down the use of the Johnson & Johnson already.
In a
And
week?
I know what's that?
In a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they said it's only 86% effective, and there's been several people who have passed away because of it. So
listen, guys, we like to try and keep this as upbeat, absolutely upbeat as we can. Okay. But when it comes to that and my feelings towards that, and my feelings and my kids and my feelings with my family and my feelings for all of that, it pisses me off to no end that world leaders in the power that they have put this in such a light.
Have we had the Rona? I was patient 0 in South Dakota. I was actually working in a nursing home doing some remodel work in the nursing home that it broke out in Washington State. So yeah, I've had it. Did it cause some issues? Yes. It took me down for about 2 weeks. But yeah.
What irks me even more is, now I may have this information wrong, and I will admit if I'm wrong in what I'm about to say. But I have heard that the CDC says you contracting the virus itself, okay, and becoming immune by yourself is better than getting the actual liquid put inside you. And the CDC said this.
Yeah.
By the way, yes, it was created under Trump.
But I'm still trying to figure out what Inspecta Hemo is talking about.
I don't. You know what? I got into one of your rants just now where I didn't even get a chance to read the comments.
You grew up in Mobridge, South Dakota. Hey, I only live about 3 hours from there. Now you live in Washington. I actually didn't live there, but I traveled to Battleground Brush Prairie area, Vancouver, many times. So I've been all over that state. Pasco and Kennewick, and yeah, been all over. So
I'm gonna butcher your name, and I apologize ahead of time for messing it up. Ladu Ken. Have no clue if I'm right or wrong there.
La Duncan.
Whatever. That sounds better. Anyway, sorry for your loss. Hopefully, you and your family have recovered as best you can. And I do apologize and do feel for you and your family. I'm sorry about that.
I think trolls are both 12. L.A. Duncan.
Gotcha. Sorry. Didn't mean to butcher things. Tracy, I made it through boot camp, A school, and got hurt, and brutal honesty, was released on medical.
And I was released on a medical as well. That's the sad part. But mine was because kidney wasn't functioning 100%. So. But
Mickey, you know, that's funny you mentioned that. I was actually sick in February of last year. And it took me out for almost 3 weeks, to the point where I just couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't wake up, nothing. No test, no confirmation, no nothing. So I don't know whether or not I had it, but I can tell you guys this. It was literal hell. So, and I had nothing other than NyQuil to take for it, literally.
But yeah, the H1N1. Yeah, I was in China for H1N1. H1N1, avian bird flu, swine flu. Yeah, then I spent some time overseas, and it's just kind of weird that the epicenter of all of this just happens to be the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It's absolutely weird. What'd you say, Jason?
Yeah. Kat, I want to say sorry for your losses. And guys, I've had some conversations with a hospital worker that I do know, and was told that they get like $35,000 a person to be labeled corona when they die. So that's why pretty much everyone under the sun died of corona. That's why I know I can tell you that those numbers are skewed.
Yeah. But guys, we are way over our time limit. And I know a lot of people on the East Coast are starting to wind down and get ready for bed. But as always, guys, I've been out for almost 10 years. So, as always, guys, you guys have a pen. You have a microphone. Use them. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America. Good night and sleep well. We will see you at 10 a.m.
Have a great night, everybody.